CM 365, all about Carnatic music. There are some words which are used very popularly by composers as part of their compositions. And one such word which comes to my mind is Kamala. When I say Kamala, immediately your thought must be going to the Kamalamba Navavarnam, which is composed by Muthuswami Dikshidhar. But there are also many more compositions by other Vagyakaras which have used the word Kamala in a very beautiful manner. I thought I'll share some interesting information about this word and its inner meaning and as to why this has been used by so many of our composers. In fact, I've always been thinking about this in the sense that, of course, the scholars of Sanskrit would know better about this, but as a normal lay rasika of music, I've been wondering why, when there are so many beautiful flowers all around the world, why is it that only the lotus has come to become used? The word Kamala is used so predominantly in so many compositions to describe the beautiful eyes of the Lord or Goddess as Kamala Lochana or Kamala Lochani, or describing the feet, Kamala Pada, Pada Kamala, and so many other ways in which, with prefixes and suffixes, we see that the word Kamala attains a very beautiful meaning. Now, coming back to what is so significant about the lotus or the Kamala. Kamala, as I said, is a Sanskrit word and it means the color lotus or the lotus flower. And it is a very, very unique flower, I would say, because it blooming in from the deep and thick mud, it comes out and blossoms. It is a perennially blooming flower with striking symmetry and colors. But lotus actually is much more, I would say, than a flower compared to others. Why it attains significance is the point that it is a flower of spirituality and replete with a lot of meaning. As a physical form, if you take the Sthula Rupa, it is a native of Asia. Predominantly, you see this flower blooming in India, China, etc. The flower petals open in the morning and they close at night. And the lotus flower also has got several kind of applications in the medical industry also. But beyond this, we could say that the lotus has got a secret meaning and significance. And unlike other flowers, its life cycle is very much different. And as mentioned earlier, its roots are covered with mud. The flower submerges in water every day and then it reblooms every morning, fresh, clean, and sparkling. Because of this daily process that it undertakes in terms of blooming back every morning, it holds a spiritual, that is a what we call as a sukshma rupam, and it also denotes the meaning of life, death, and rebirth, the cycle of the life, death, and rebirth. The lotus hence holds a very special place among all the flowers. If you look at the symbols that this lotus flower connotes, you could say that it is a symbol of purity, grace, fertility, self-regeneration, serenity, and everything that is associated with the divine. Hence, the flower is associated with many gods and goddesses of the Hindu culture. And we see that especially Kamala is associated with God, the Vishnu, and Ambal, and different forms of Vishnu, Ambal, where you see that Kamalasana, Kamala Lochana, Kamala Nava, like this. There are many words which go to describe the beauty of the eyes, the feet, and other things in comparison with the lotus. And with the lotus ability to resurrect as beautifully as it was last seen, it is also a symbol of unwavering faith. Here we see that the seeds which are visible to us are the Sthula Rupa, and how they live and germinate after thousands of years is what we call as the Sukshma Rupa. And here The most fascinating point about this Kamala or the lotus is that it is the first product of the creative principle when Sriman Narayanan was in Yoga Nidra. And when he woke up, the lotus was Kamala raised from his navel. We see that in many pictures also, you would see that the lotus being in the navel of God Vishnu. So that way we see that the lotus has got a very, very important significance. And if you look at the various composers, of course, our main Sri Tyagaraja, Sri Dikshidhar, and also in so many umpteen number of slokas and other works of the great saints, we see the word Kamala used in various contexts very beautifully. And it has got a very elaborate interpretation given by these composers also. So, in the next episode, we will see a few examples of how the word Kamala has been beautifully incorporated in the domain of music by our great composers. CM 365, all about Carnatic music.